All right, let's get right into it. You've probably spent years mastering traditional Google SEO. You fought tooth and nail for every single keyword, every backlink, that highly coveted spot on page one. But looking at the latest data, the game is fundamentally changing right under our feet. Welcome to this explainer, where we're going to unpack a massive, disruptive shift happening in search right now, and more importantly, how we can all actually navigate it.
So this brings up a pretty uncomfortable question we found in the research. What happens when a huge, rapidly growing segment of your potential customers completely stops Googling, starts asking an AI for recommendations, and your brand isn't even mentioned? Think about that. This isn't some far-off science fiction future. This is the new reality of search today. If you aren't showing up in platforms like ChatGPT, Gemini, or Perplexity, well, to a whole new wave of consumers, your brand might as well be invisible.
Okay, let's dive into this. For decades, the internet's front door was remarkably simple, right? A search bar and a list of 10 blue links. But that era is getting a major renovation. Users are fundamentally shifting their behavior. They're moving from typing those fragmented keywords to asking full, complex questions. They literally no longer want a research project where they have to click through 5 different websites. They want a single conversational AI-generated answer. It's a complete shift from exploration to immediate synthesis.
Let's put that into perspective. When a user asks an AI, hey, what's the best software for my business? The AI doesn't just hand them a list. It acts like a quick-witted consultant. It might reply with something like, well, brand A is the market leader, but brand B is a much better value for small teams. That description right there, that is your new brand reputation. And for most marketers today, that reputation is being generated inside a black box they currently have absolutely zero insight into. Crazy, right?
Because this whole landscape has changed. Our yardstick for success has to change with it. The new metrics for visibility are incredibly straightforward, yet intensely powerful. Number 1, are you mentioned at all? Number 2, what is your share of voice compared to your competitors in these synthesized answers? And number 3, brand sentiment. Is the AI describing you positively, negatively, or just neutrally? In this new world, if you're not mentioned in that initial answer, you lose the customer before they ever even have a chance to see your website.
Which brings us to an absolutely crucial new discipline known as Answer Engine Optimization, or AEO. This is quickly becoming the new industry standard. Now, what's fascinating here is that AEO isn't about tricking algorithms with keyword stuffing. Forget all that. It's about providing absolute trustworthy clarity. It's the process of making your brand and your content so clear and authoritative that AI models naturally want to rely on you when they formulate answers for users.
So, how do we do this? Step 1 of the diagnostic: conducting a manual audit. To do this effectively, we need to think exactly like the customer.
Now, what's really interesting about this step is that the biggest mistake we could make is just typing our own brand name in. I mean, of course it knows us. We need to open fresh, incognito browser windows on tools like ChatGPT, Gemini, Perplexity, or Claude to minimize any personalized bias. The real test is seeing if the AI recommends you when it doesn't have to. To figure that out, we need to run 3 specific types of prompts: category, direct, and comparison.
Let's break these down real quick. First up, category prompts. These are unbranded. Think, what are the best running shoes for beginners? Run variations of this and log every single brand the AI mentions. Were you on that list? Second, direct prompts. Ask the AI, what is, and then your brand name. We aren't checking for mentions here. We're checking for accuracy. Is the AI pulling outdated info? Remember, this is your AI-generated business card. Finally, comparison prompts, like your brand versus a top competitor. Pay really close attention to the language that uses here. Does it frame you as the premium option or just a cheaper alternative? This reveals your exact perceived market position in the AI's mind.
Once you have that data logged, we move right into steps 2 and 3. Benchmarks and cheat codes. This is where we formalize exactly where you stand.
Take a look at your spreadsheet. If you are consistently absent from those category prompts, but your main competitor is always showing up, you have a serious, urgent visibility gap. But we can flip that. You can turn that vague fear of, oh no, we're not mentioned, into a concrete target. We need to achieve competitor X's visibility. And if you notice that none of your direct competitors are showing up, wow, that is a massive opportunity. The first brand in your niche to crack AEO is going to get a huge head start.
So the crucial point here is the secret we uncovered in the research. The answer to why the AI chooses a competitor almost always lies in the citations. Citations are literally the cheat codes for AI visibility. Many engines, especially things like Google's AI Overviews or Perplexity, will actually include the source links they use to formulate their response. We have to hunt for these links and actually click on them.
When you click those citations, what do you see? Is the AI pulling from a competitor's blog post, a third-party review site, a press release, an industry forum? The AI is showing its hand here. It's straight up telling you, hey, I trust this material. To get included in the final answer, you need to create content that is just as comprehensive and trustworthy as the sources it's already citing. All right, moving from diagnosing the problem to actually fixing it, let's look at step 4, the improvement playbook. Let's move to and see how this builds. To fix the gaps we just found, the research points to executing on 3 specific pillars: laying a technical foundation, shifting to answer-first content, and building third-party authority. Let's dive into each one. Pillar 1 is your technical foundation. Now, this is closest to your traditional SEO. Your site must be crawlable with clean HTML, but the real game changer here is structured data, particularly schema markup. Schema isn't some magic bullet that guarantees ranking, but it acts like a translator. It clearly labels your content for the AI, saying, hey, this text right here is a question, this text is the answer, this is a product price. It removes ambiguity. And AI models, they absolutely love a lack of ambiguity.
And this brilliantly illustrates Pillar 2, answer-first content. This means adapting to exactly what the AI needs. Stop burying the lead. Use the questions you found during your audit as your actual article headings. Put the direct, concise answer in the very first paragraph right underneath that heading. Use bullet points, numbered lists, tables. Creating this kind of scannable, highly modular content makes it incredibly easy for an AI to extract the specific chunk of information it needs to build its synthesized answer.
Pillar 3 is third-party authority. It's really easy to forget that AI engines are essentially just trying to find consensus across the web. They often trust reputable third-party PR, independent reviews, discussions on Reddit or Quora, and industry sites way more than what a brand simply says about itself on its own homepage. These external mentions are vital trust signals. They reinforce your legitimacy to the AI.
Finally, step 5, playing the long game and monitoring your progress. The data clearly shows this is absolutely not a set-it-and-forget-it task. Look, visibility can shift rapidly. AI models update all the time, competitors release new content, so you need to rerun your manual audit at least once a month. Ask yourself, are your content changes actually leading to more mentions? Is your brand sentiment improving? As you start taking this more seriously, you should absolutely look into scaling your system. Established tools from companies like SEMrush or Ahrefs are already rolling out features to automate the daily tracking of brand mentions, sentiment, and your share of voice across these various AI platforms.
I know this is a completely new way of looking at search, and frankly, it can feel a bit overwhelming. But a plan prevents panic. To help you put this explainer's 5-step plan into action right away, you can download a free AI Visibility Audit checklist. It's a simple PDF waiting for you right now via the link in our description.
The shift from search engines to answer engines is, without a doubt, the biggest marketing disruption in a decade. That traffic we've all relied on for years, it's at risk. But the brands that adapt today are absolutely going to own the market tomorrow. So take back control, run your audit this afternoon, and ask yourself, when your ideal customer asks an AI for help tomorrow, is it going to recommend you? Thanks for learning with us, and we'll see you in the next explainer.